as expected when I put the video out, people are asking me why I'm afraid to debate Destiny. The first comment here says, or the pinned comment says, so just debate him and prove him wrong. If not, stop whining about it and put your money where your mouth is, but you won't do because you're all bark and no bite. That's your, Y-O-U''re. All bark and no bite. Way to be a man and not confront someone you have a issue with. Why just keep ducking the blue-haired guy? At least he's open to have a discussion with you, but the red pill guy too scared to back up his BS. My response was, haha, prove him wrong about what exactly? I don't know where he stands on anything. All he does is disagree with everybody, and so on and so forth. So, here's my response. Here's my response to, and there were several comments. The first thing I'll tell you is that I am not afraid to debate Destiny. Okay? Never have been, never will be. Here's the issue. Destiny doesn't debate with anybody. He argues. He cuts people off. And once he talks over everybody, and once he starts talking, he just doesn't stop. Plus, he rarely allows people he's debating to finish their point or their thought. When he does this, he will derail the conversation, he will move the goalpost, or sometimes just change the subject. This is all by design, gentlemen. This is not an accident. Unless someone tells him, hey, stop cutting me off and let me finish, which has a tendency to make someone lose their train of thought, he keeps talking over and through the other person. That's not debating, gentlemen. This is bickering. This is arguing. When two people are talking over each other, cutting people off and getting loud with one another, that's not a debate. That's an argument. But I'll tell you what. The only way I will ever engage in a debate with Destiny is in a proper debate format. Meaning there is a neutral moderator. Each debater has a time limit on his responses, and neither debater can interrupt the other debater during their speaking time. This way, nothing gets lost in translation. Each person can express their thoughts thoroughly, so everyone watching and listening understands their position, and also to avoid the debate devolving into an incoherent shouting match. This is exactly how real debates are executed, gentlemen. This is how it's done and taught in schools. This is how it's done in debate competitions. This is how it's done in politics. Yelling, over-talking, and cutting each other off is not debating. Again, it's arguing, and I'm not going to argue with anybody. If Destiny wants to debate, then we'll do it properly. But I am not going to engage in a discussion or debate without structure, guidelines, or established etiquette with a guy who consistently cuts across people and doesn't allow anyone to finish their thoughts. So yeah, I am 674% down to debate Destiny if he wants to. But we're going to do this in a way that discourages tactics designed to muddy the waters, move the goalpost, or gaslight the other person. Now, what we'll debate about, I have no idea, but I'm sure we can come up with a few topics. Now, anyone who has a problem with me wanting to engage in a debate that is organized and structured the way they're supposed to be just wants to see an argument. You don't care about facts. You don't care about someone being able to espouse their ideas completely and accurately. You just want to see a shouting match. And like I said, that is not what I do. Not having the rules of engagement present and enforceable for a debate is like watching a soccer game that allows everyone on the pitch to use their hands. It wouldn't look like soccer because it wouldn't be soccer. Now, I'm sure Destiny's loser fans will say things like, well, you debate girls on Fresh and Fit without a moderator all the time. Why are you afraid to debate Destiny without a moderator? I don't debate the girls on Fresh and Fit without a moderator. The moderator is Myron Gaines. And before every show, the rules are carefully and thoroughly laid out by Chris Pogson, the Fresh and Fit producers. He tells the girls not to interrupt Myron, Fresh, or the guys, and he instructs the guys not to interrupt the girls. Yes, okay, we may cut across each other from time to time, but if things get too crazy, Myron will rein everyone back in. We see him do it all the time. This is exactly what a moderator does. This is why Fresh and Fit works so well. It's because of those guidelines. It's because of the structure. Can you imagine what Fresh and Fit would be like without a moderator? It would be just like that soccer game with everybody able to use their hands. Chaos. The structure of Fresh and Fit, among other things, is exactly why those panel shows work so well. So if you want me to just argue with Destiny, then just say that. Arguments are loud, they're all over the place, and there's no structure. Destiny appears to be right because he talks the loudest, he talks the most, and he cuts everybody off. Any objective, clear thinking, fair-minded person can see this. That's his MO. That's what he does. He transforms debates into bickering matches. Destiny is the boxer who headbutts you during the fight. He's the boxer who throws low blows, then pretends he didn't mean to do it, then he does it again. He knows he doesn't have the power or the technique to beat the other fighter on an even playing field, so he resorts to this strategy to even the odds. Destiny's the guy you play basketball with down at the rec league or the YMCA, who always plays dirty because of his lack of athleticism. He'll tug your jersey, he'll elbow you in the ribs, he'll hand check you, he'll do all of this because he knows that if he didn't break the rules, he wouldn't be competitive. Destiny is also the guy who cuts you off, overtalks you, moves the goalpost, then gaslights you when he knows you're about to make a good point in the discussion that would hurt his position. But here's the thing. Destiny doesn't have to resort to these tactics in a debate. Again, any fair-minded, clear-thinking, objective individual can clearly see he's quite intelligent. He's a smart guy. There's no getting around that. I would even go as far as to say that he is smarter than I am, which isn't really saying much because I'm not some cerebral, deep-thinking Svengali. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm certainly no dum-dum. I've successfully opened and ran a 2-location mattress chain for almost 2 years and made a boatload of money when they were open, then made even more money when I sold it. I had a quasi sort of real estate business in Vegas that I built from the ground up. I started up with 1 property, ended up with 7, 2 of which were small apartment buildings, and I had a staff too. I had an office manager, I had a couple of maintenance men, one of them was part-time, one was full-time, and I had a lawyer on retainer to handle evictions when and if they ever came up. And now I've got this dinky little podcast that's changed my life, my girlfriend's life, my family's life, and the lives of my subscribers, patrons, members, and fans. I'm no genius, gentlemen, but I'm smart enough to have run now 3 successful businesses. But all of that said, I can freely admit that Destiny probably a lot smarter than I am. He's got more cerebral brawn from what I can tell. And that's what's so confusing about his debate tactics. Destiny is a guy who is smart enough just to allow people to finish their point and then present a counterpoint, but he doesn't. And I can't believe that it's because he doesn't have the brain power to do it. But let's get back to the root of his loser fans screaming for a debate. Let me ask you losers a few questions. Question number 1, what the fuck are we going to debate about? The fact that Melina isn't sexually attracted to him and likely hasn't had sex with him in a while? And even if I were wrong about that, that makes Melina the gross outlier, and I'm sure that Destiny would agree that the exception doesn't make the rule. Are we going to argue? Are we going to debate about the fact that men can increase their value and physical attraction to women by working out? Everyone knows and understands this, including his loser fans, whether they know it, admit it, or not. Here's a second question for you losers who love Destiny. You guys say I'm afraid to debate Destiny. What exactly am I afraid of? Looking bad? Getting beat in a debate? I got news for you. I've looked bad plenty of times on the air. And people have said I've gotten beaten in debates. Case in point, Alex from Playing with Fire. He held his own in our debate. And even though I didn't agree with most of what he said, there are those who said he won the debate. Okay, so you think you won, fine, but it hasn't changed anything. I'm still me. I still live a great life. I still drive a really nice car. My girl has great tits and life is still good. So am I afraid that losing a debate to Destiny would mean the end of my content creation career? Of course not. What am I afraid of? Here's a third question for you Destiny fanboys. Why do you want to see this debate so badly? So that you can declare victory for Destiny? Does watching Destiny win a debate make your day? Does watching him beat me in a debate make you guys any less of a loser? Of course not. You guys are losers now, and if you don't improve yourself, you guys will be losers when and if we ever debate. You're still gonna hate your life. I'm still gonna love mine. I'll still get my dick sucked every night. You won't. I will still have a woman who is fit, feminine, and friendly, and you'll still have a woman who is fit, feminine, and friendly thanks to your OnlyFans subscriptions. Seeing Destiny win a debate against me will not change anyone's life one way or another for better or worse. I could get completely destroyed, but my life will continue to be awesome. And let's keep it real, that's the real reason you guys want to see this. You want to see Donovan Sharpe take an L because he lives a great life. He can buy pretty much anything he wants, he can travel when and where he wants to, first class. His woman is an asset to him, and he has the respect of respectable men. Let's just be honest, that's what this is really all about. You losers want to see me humbled because of the life I live. Question number 4. Question number 4 to all you loser fans of Destiny. Is this really your hero? Is this really the guy you look to as something to aspire to? A man you want to emulate? And look, I'm nobody's hero. I am nobody's hero. Please, I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and make that assessment. I'm gonna go ahead and make that assertion right now. I'm nobody's hero. I'm just a guy who made a lot of mistakes in life, in life and in dating, managed to escape some of the irreparable damage that these mistakes tend to have, and got lucky on YouTube. But would you want your life to look more like his or more like mine? And I'm sure he loves his life. He looks like he does. He looks relaxed. But whose life would most men actually want? Let's do a comparison. Well, listen, now he's smarter than I am. Number one, he's probably got more money than I do, and his wife is much younger and much hotter than my girlfriend. I'll give him that. I'll concede all of that. Those are things about his life that are objectively better than mine. There's no doubt. I have no problem admitting that. But like a fat chick with big tits or a skinny guy with abs, it doesn't count if you let other dudes smash your girl. Having a young, hot wife doesn't give a man status and respect if she's taking dick on the side. Doesn't count. His girl being younger and hotter than mine doesn't count, especially if he's also doing things with other men. If you want that life, then I can't help you. And I don't mean this to be an insult. And I really don't. I really don't. But personally, I cannot help men who want to be in relationships with young, hot women who are sleeping with men outside of the relationship with your permission, knowledge, and blessing. Can't help you there. It's not what I do. It's not what I do. But in the end, if you idolize a man with blue hair, who has relations with other men, who allows his wife to sleep with men outside of their marriage, who made his money playing video games, who doesn't believe that working out and physical fitness is a key component to a man's overall value, who is clearly an enemy of masculinity, and invades podcasts that advocate for men and then arguing against the principles we espouse, and then turn around and bash a guy who is pro-masculinity, teaches men how to live better lives, gives them real-world actionable solutions to be more successful in their relationships, whose girlfriend doesn't smash dudes on the side that he knows of, then that's a you problem. I can't help you, man. Any man who exalts Destiny but bashes me is a loser. Period, point blank. And I mean that in the most offensive way possible. You Destiny dick writers are fucking losers. End of discussion. So, here's one last question. Would it make me more of a man to get into a boxing match with a guy who has a history of headbutting and throwing low blows without a referee to show a bunch of losers how tough I am? Does it make me any less of a man to avoid playing basketball with a guy who has a reputation of purposely trying to injure other players? Does it make me less of a man if I refuse to debate a guy who cuts people off, argues in bad faith, and gaslights everybody unless there's a moderator, rules, and structure? If you're nodding your head, then you have no business being here. To essentially tell a man to put himself in a situation that puts him at a clear disadvantage on purpose to impress a bunch of losers means you're simply not ready for this brand of content. And that's okay. A lot of guys here used to be in that same camp to some degree. But when you're ready to put your feelings aside and admit that I have a far more positive impact on the lives of both men and women than some blue-haired, switch-hitting wannabe Sigma male who's married to a woman that fucks other guys with her blessing, I'll be here. I'll be here. And I will genuinely welcome you with open arms, because despite what I may think about you right now, we're all men in the end. And as I said before, I am pro-man. I am pro-masculinity, even to those who are fucking losers. At the end of the day, we need to understand one inescapable truth. Destiny's not an influencer, gentlemen. He's an entertainer. He's highly intelligent, he's extremely witty, and he's very funny. And I mean that. Like, the kid genuinely makes me laugh sometimes. He's a really funny guy. He's a really funny guy. But that's exactly why I'm not debating him without a moderator, rules, or structure. Because the funnier, wittier guy will always look like the winner when it's just a free-for-all back-and-forth shouting match. He's also a much better disruptor than I am, which is why his tactics work and makes him look like he's correct. Yes, I am also entertaining to some degree. You have to be to make it in this business. But I am an educator first, which means that any discussion I have with someone I disagree with, I take seriously. I have a responsibility to my guys to take what I say seriously and not sacrifice my teachings at the altar of entertainment. The things I teach and talk about are serious and life-changing, and I'm not about to get into an argument with the king of some video game playing loser community in an attempt to change the minds of those losers who find every excuse in the world not to like me. And listen, I appreciate the losers who dislike and comment. It helps my engagement. But at the end of the day, I don't fucking need you losers. You guys are not that fucking important no matter how much you think you are. You don't matter. I don't do shit for you guys. I do it for my guys, not you wannabe Sigma losers. Fuck out of here. And that is the memo.